Do you own a home in the Kelowna area? If so, your home may have seen a significant increase in value. This month's market update for June 2024 will go over the single family home category here in the Kelowna and the surrounding area. If you get any value out of this video, please drop a like, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on all my future videos. And if you happen to be looking for a home in the Kelowna or the Okanagan area, looking to buy or sell, there is a link down below in the description where you can book a one-on-one call with me there. All right, so let's dig into the stats for June 2024. Again, these are single family homes. If you are looking for the condo stats, if you're interested in that and what's happening in the condo market here in Kelowna, I typically do a separate video every single month because Kelowna is becoming such a condo-centered city. There's a lot of towers going up, so I do believe it deserves its own video. Now, what happened in June 2024? So prices have been, as you can see here, prices have been hovering around the $1 million mark ever since the end of last year. They've roller coastered a little bit up and down, but it's hovered around the $1 million mark for quite some time now. So there's not a lot of action going on in the market. Sales are down and prices have been fairly steady for quite some time. And in terms of prices, where we are, so just over $1 million, that brings us actually back to mid-October of 2021. Where prices, again, were just over $1 million. So if you did happen to buy in this bubble here leading up to the peak in 2022, which is just under $1.2 million. So if you did happen to buy there or there, you might be underwater a little bit in terms of value. Hopefully you don't have to sell, but in terms of value, you might be down a little bit. But real estate is a long-term game, so don't speculate on real estate. Hold it as long as you can, especially if you're actually living in it. Hopefully, again, you don't have to sell. Now, the peak in 2023, just for reference, we peaked out just under $1.1 million there. I don't see us getting back to that number unless interest rates drop and the market floods back, but I don't see us getting up that high. But again, you never know. No one has a crystal ball. Now, as I stated at the beginning of the video, if you've owned your home here in the Okanagan for quite some time, like 5 years, your home has seen a significant increase in value over the last 5 years, just the last 5 years. So since 2019, June 2019, the benchmark price here in the central Okanagan was $687,000. Now, let's dig a little further into those numbers. So, single family homes, again, you're at $687 in June 2019. Now you're all the way up to just over $1 million. So your home has increased more or less by 46.8% in just those 5 years. Now, as you can read from the numbers here, this is what it's done over the last 5, 3, and 1 year. Not a lot of changes this year, as I stated earlier. Over the last year, we have seen about a 6% decrease in price, mainly due to those increased interest rates we've seen since the middle of 2022. Now, keep in mind, if you are a new buyer, you're a first-time home buyer, you're getting into the market, or you just got into the market, 10% per year, so essentially, over the last 5 years, increased by around 50%, 10% a year. That's not typical. What's typical here in the central Okanagan over the last 20 years, the straight average is about 6% per year. Depending on the area, could be more, could be less, but 6% is typical here over the last 20 years anyway, here in the central Okanagan. So if you're banking on 10% a year, I would dial that back a little bit. But if you did happen to buy here 5 years ago, congratulations, your home has increased in value by about 50%. Now, carrying on with what happened in June of 2024, other important information here, verse 2023. So inventory is up 55%. We're at just under 1,700 listings here in the central Okanagan. Months of inventory has doubled since this time last year. We're at 10 months of inventory, meaning if we didn't list another property, it would take 10 months to sell off the remaining inventory that we have. Sales are way down about 20% since this time last year. Last month we saw 186 sales. And the price ratio, that hasn't changed much over the last 18 months. The price ratio is at 997%. Now this just means that say you listed your home for $1 million, and on average you and the buyer are negotiating 3% off, so $970,000 would be the sale price on average. And days to sell were up 13% since this time last year, around 50 days to sell. Now, someone did comment last week or last month on my market update video saying this number seems low compared to the inventory that we've seen increasing and the sales that have decreased. That's true. Days to sell might be skewed because of the realtor data that we get. Because of the homes that have been sitting on the market for longer at a higher price, what some realtors will do is they'll lower the price and then they'll do a relist, and then that home will sell, say, within 14 or 24 days, whatever it is, lower than the days to sell. So that does skew that number, unfortunately. I wish we did have the real data for that. It'd be really hard to pull that all out. But as it sits right now, you're probably closer still to 2 months to sell your home. But the data that we do have, it's sitting at 50. But don't be surprised if your home might take a little bit longer to sell, as that number might be skewed. And that's all I have for this market update. Congratulations if you've owned your home for more than 5 years. You've seen an increase of about 50% there. If you did get any value out of this video, please drop a like, hit the subscribe button. And I am a realtor here in the Kelowna and Okanagan area. If you are looking to buy or sell, there is a link down below in the description. Thanks so much and have a good day.